Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Enrique, aka the Aries Gamer. Welcome to the Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. And I'm joined tonight by my panel as usual, Eric Jackson.
Hello, what's going on, everybody?
B Money 101.
Hey, everybody, what's up?
And we have a special guest tonight with us. We have Anchorman from
AKA Discount Mr. Negative.
Yeah, actually, John, unfortunately, Mr. Negative could not join us tonight. But big shout out to John and our brethren over at the Super Deforms Games Cast, which goes live every Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sam Tolbert, who's our new co-host, is going to be joining us in about a half hour or so. So he'll be on here shortly. So, gentlemen, why don't we go ahead and start with what everyone's playing in terms of games. Eric, why don't we start with you, man? What are you playing? Oh, that's right. You're not playing anything.
Kind of a lot.
It'll be money.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you, man. What are you playing right now, Eric?
Well, I'm still on Forza Horizon. I still have to start Gears 4. And honestly, that's about it right now. It's just been a crazy week and a half. Been busy as hell. So,
yeah.
And it's killing me. Honestly, if you're a real gamer, you go through withdrawals. Like, literally. Yeah. Like,
Dude,
it changes your mood and everything. Like, my wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" Just leave me alone.
Dude,
I'm through it.
I'm surprised you haven't even touched Gears yet, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of ashamed, but it's sitting here. I'm ready. I just gotta get a moment to jump in. And I was gonna start playing last night, man, but I was so tired. I know you guys probably attest to this at times when you sit there, you like have the controller in your hand and you're just staring at the monitor.
Oh, yeah.
And your eyes are already heavy. And you're like, I can't.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be able to focus. So yeah, but I'll jump in. Hopefully.
No doubt, man. No doubt. B Money, what are you playing, man?
I'm still playing 2K, you know.
Surprise.
That's like my daily driver right there, 2K before everything.
B Money, I got to ask you a question, man, about 2K. I hear, rumor on the street, this is rumor, I hear that NBA Live's the better game.
Negative. That is negative, sir. No, man, but
only in the bizarre world.
Still rocking on that 2K. I finished the Gears campaign, and then right now I'm playing Mafia. So those are 3 games I'm playing right now: 2K,
Mafia,
Gears 4, and Mafia 3. So,
all right, we're going to talk about Mafia 3 here in a little bit too. So it's one of our topics this evening. And last but not least, Anchorman, what are you playing?
Right now, as we speak, I'm playing Overwatch with their Halloween update, which is actually pretty dope.
Oh, nice.
I've been going back and forth between a lot of different stuff. Like I'm playing Mafia 3. Mafia 3, I guess, is still my game I'm playing officially in public. That is the game I am playing. But I'm kind of flipping between a bunch of different stuff. I was playing Ark a little while ago, yesterday, but we had a really bad situation. If you guys saw it on Twitter, I was so pissed. It was enough so where I developed an actual headache and couldn't sleep because I was so pissed off.
What happened?
What happened, man?
I would think like did a dinosaur shit on your house or something? Like
no. If you ever played Ark before, it's a very personal game because when you log out, your body's still there. You can be handcuffed, put in a cage. It can be killed. And so whenever you log out, you have to trust the people you're logging out with. Like your tribe actually matters. And it was so frustrating because when we all started as a group, and there was one guy who was our leader. We all started on the server. When the server opened, we were there. We started. We knew each other beforehand. We planned it all out. We played for about a month and a half this game together. We trusted him, and he backstabbed us. Right at the end. He basically went to another tribe, told them we were going to raid them, which wasn't true, and they got an entire force of 3 other tribes to wipe us. And they used his inside information to get past all our defenses and just wipe us.
Damn,
man.
And so
it was like some real life shit, man.
Some real,
months worth of work gone.
It's like,
wow.
That's crazy.
That's fucked up.
Damn.
when keeping it Ark goes wrong. Jesus, man, I would have been hot. I don't blame you.
For real, man.
That's fun. So
Wow.
So what, are you guys going to roll up on this guy now? Is that kind of what happens next?
Plenty of things are in the works. That is all that needs to be said.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
This is the power of the internet. And all
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like they are things, not like a dick move kind of deal. Like, no, we're gonna troll the server till the server dies, and then then they'll quit, and then the server will come back online with some new groups or whatever.
Mm.
Jeez.
You got.
So when you log back in, like, is your body like on the ground? Like, what
Oh
happened?
no, I commit suicide. Every time I log in at this point, I commit suicide so I can't be captured.
Oh shit. That's pretty deep, man.
Oh man, okay. Any other game you've ever played, any kind of beef you've ever had on that, it's nothing compared to Ark beef.
Ark beef.
You know what, man, growing up with settle shit on the playground, this is like people are gonna be settling shit online now, like through Ark.
Oh man,
Right?
it's crazy.
Oh man.
I'll see you in Ark, son.
Yeah, right? Oh, shit. Oh man, you know what? It's funny. Now you know what, Anchor. I remember the tweets you were sending out, man. No, I remember this now that you're talking about it. I remember seeing it, and I was like, "What?" I wasn't sure, like, if you were joking at first, though.
No, I was not joking about this. Like I said, I had such a headache going to bed. I couldn't sleep.
Jeez, man, that sucks.
Wow, man. Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, well, I've been let's see here. I've been what have I been gaming? I've been playing a little bit of Gears of War 4. It's a new game some of you might have heard of.
I think I heard of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got an opportunity to play some Horde mode with Gabe from SDGC, and got to play a little bit of co-op with the Drunk Cat, and then got to beat the game this weekend. And I also actually just downloaded Battlefield 1 on EA Access for the free trial.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually did a quick Twitch stream for about 30 minutes before hopping on the podcast. But that's been pretty much it in terms of, like, just, you know, what I've been focused on in terms of gaming. But speaking of Gears of War 4 and JT in the live chat, what's up, JT? JT's one of the co-hosts on our sister podcast, Super Deformed Gamescast. He says, Gears of War 4 made my erection go what erections do. Or I guess he meant to say do what erections do. Okay. All right. I don't know if that Gears of War 4 had the same effect on me, JT. But more power to you, man. So, yeah, so I'm going to try to, like, not... I'm going to try to tiptoe around this, Gary, because I know you haven't really played it. Anchor, I know you haven't played.
Right.
So I'm doing my best not to, you know, give away any spoilers or anything like that. Do my best. You know.
And also for the audience who may not.
For the audience too, absolutely. So I'll say this: the beginning of the game starts off like fucking awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of like slows down in Act 1. And Act 1 is terrible. I was actually, you know, I was playing Act 1, and I don't know how you felt about Act 1 being money, and I understand it was kind of like a tutorial in some ways, but it was terrible, man. I did not like it. I did not like it at all, and I was worried. I was worried. I was like, oh my god, this game's going to be terrible. I'm not going to like it, and it actually, it ends up picking up a lot after Act 1, and I got to say, you know, everything from previous Gears of War games is there. The combat's there. The cover system is great. You know, it's fun. It's fun just taking down enemies, you know? And I'll say this much. The game looks really good. And they added more, more colors to it. Like there's, like, I think previous Gears were like a little more like brown and green, you know, type of, it was very like dark. Kind of one, like, they didn't have a lot of variety in terms of color. They added that to this game, and I think that works very well. But overall, the game looks really good. Like, Coalition did a really good job with this game. And I think, well, Eric, you know one of the main characters in the game, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you know, alluding to. I just want to make sure I don't want to spoil anything, huh?
Yeah. No. I watched the trailer and it kind of alluded to
Marcus
who's going
Phoenix?
to be there.
Yes, Anchor. Yeah,
No, I mean it's been marketed so heavily. I mean,
yeah,
it's not
I just want to make. Well, you never know. Some people
And then
gone completely dark and not watched, any of the coverage. So I don't know, but
general rule of thumb I've done is if it's in the major trailers, then it's fair game. Like it's not like they
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. So so they bring back Marcus Phoenix, which I thought, by the way, was brilliant because it does a great job of tying in the previous Gears to the new Gears and with the new characters. In Gears of War, on the Gears of War 4 at least, I thought that had Marcus not been there, I think that would have been. I think the game would have suffered a little bit maybe, and maybe not resonate as much with fans of the franchise. So I thought that was really smart they did that. And Marcus is still my favorite character. The dude is just, he just he's got like this blue collar appeal to him, And his son isn't like as gruff, I guess, as Marcus is. That's one thing I noticed,
because he grew up in peacetime. I mean, it's
yeah. But even the way he talks, though, he doesn't have any resemblance of like Marcus's voice a little bit. You know what I mean? He didn't have that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, he grew up in peacetime, but he didn't. But he was still part of the COG, though. Even though at one point he was part of the COG. I'm trying not to give away parts of the story, but he still didn't have that gruff, kind of exterior and that
he's not war weary.
Yeah, exactly. Which is understandable, considering that Marcus went through hell in the previous Gears games against the Locust. So, I don't know if we should talk about the ending because maybe some people that haven't played it. Yeah, because B-Money, I wanted to talk to you about this ending.
Yeah.
Because I know you had talked about it on DM, but we might have to talk about this offline because I do have some thoughts about that.
Right.
Yeah, but everything there, the game is just awesome. It is just awesome, and I mentioned earlier Al the drunk cat. He joined me co-op, and he's playing on his PC, and he just hopped in my game. And was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And so crossplay, from at least my time with Al, seemed to work perfect, man. It was flawless.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The future, man.
Yeah, the future, right? So, yeah. Hey, the dude 79. What's up, the dude? The dude says, "Did anyone stick around for the end credits scene?" Yes, I did. The dude. Yes, I did. And you did too, B-Money?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so we won't talk about that, but so overall, man, I this is I would say that Gears is a really good game. I wouldn't say it's a great game because I think there's some things about the game that I didn't feel were strong. The story was okay.
Yeah, I felt the same.
Yeah,
I feel the story's okay. A lot of people are saying that this is the best Gears ever. And
they're in the honeymoon phase, honestly.
Yeah, I don't
trust that anyone says it. If someone says the story is great, in the first week, I don't trust them, honestly. I wait for it to see how it holds up.
Yeah. That's the best way to look at it.
Fair. Yep.
Yeah, the story was the story and the writing was maybe a little shallow.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. You know what? And to piggyback on what Anchor said, I'm kind of like that too. Because you remember how Halo 5 was that first week out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, the campaign was dope," and then over time, it was sort of like, it wasn't as dope as I thought it was.
Yeah.
So
I'll say this much: this campaign was better than Halo 5.
Yes, it was.
It's not hard to beat, man.
Yeah, Halo 5. Let me tell you something. The more I think about Halo 5, the more I think that the story was just terrible. It just was bad. And I know I'll probably catch flack for that. Oh, you're just neutral. That's why you're saying that. But,
only because it's true. You only catch flack when something's true. You hit a nerve, emotionally.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that maybe if they had a couple more cutscenes in between some of the fighting and stuff that maybe that would have added to the story. I almost felt like at times you were. I'm trying to be careful how I talk about the game because I don't want to give too much away. But I almost felt like it got to a point where it started becoming really predictable when the next firefight was going to happen. And it was almost always triggered by the opening of a door.
Yeah.
And I felt like there could have been instances where maybe they could have had some cutscenes where there was some meaningful dialogue between the main characters. But yeah, but other than that, I think the game's solid. It's a really good game. I actually think, at least in my opinion, I think it's the best console exclusive game right now, or that's been released on the Xbox One. That's just my opinion. I got a chance to play. No, definitely not Quantum Break, especially with that last fucking boss battle. Quantum Break. I got all these fucking powers, but I'm going to hang up on this. I'm going to hang out on the top of the scaffold. All you have to do is shoot me.
Yeah. It's like, hey, all those powers you got mean nothing.
Yeah, I mean nothing. Exactly.
I'm noticing something though that's interesting though. The same problem I have with Quantum Break is the same problem I have with Recore. I feel like there's one power missing that ties it all together. Like that's why I'm just like, I need something else. I don't know what it is, but there's just something missing about it, and it's annoying. And I want to know what it is. Like I don't know. Like the Recore, it's all the powers you have. There's no real transportation speed one. Where it's like, all right, like the shifting sands, like the big open area. I feel like there should be something like you can like ride a skateboard or something like that, just to get across faster.
Yeah.
Or like a Quantum Break, I don't know what it was. Just it needed to be something else, like a reverse time function, where it's like someone like you can reverse like the path of a bullet, or like you shot the bullet towards me, you continue your time, but I reversed the bullet. I don't know how it would work. Right. Just something else to tie it all together, which I didn't see.
Yeah, and I just wanted something at the end of that game where, like, you had all these cool powers, but in the end, it's like none of it really. It was just like shoot, done. Sort of like that was a little let down. It would have been cool to have some kind of time battle, something going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, we're not here to pick on Quantum Break. That's been done, but
we've done that.
But yeah. But I asked Enrique the other day about, since I haven't played Gears yet, but from his opinion on it, what I've been hearing other people say is like the Coalition, they kind of just gave you, in a good way, gave you more Gears. They didn't try to like mess with the formula too much. They added some, new kill animations and things like that into it. But I'll ask B-Money the same question. Do you think going into Gears 5, it needs more of a shakeup?
It definitely needs more of a shakeup. I think they should have actually shook it up with this game. I think what they want to do is play it safe, since this was the first Gears game under their brand.
Right.
I mean, the campaign definitely gives you more of what to expect throughout the other game modes of the game. So I think they played it safe. Gave us what we're used to, and then we'll see what Gears 5 has in store. But I think they definitely played it safe. But I feel like they should have shook it up on this game and really, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
I think that's a really interesting position they were in particular. With Halo 5, it was 343, which was basically just Bungie. They just had a different name, but it was mostly the same people, and so a change wasn't. It could have been. They could have made a bigger change with Halo 4, and the change mostly came in having abilities, like making running standard. It was small little stuff.
Right.
They could have gone bigger, and I think that would have been warranted. But with Coalition, I mean, it's an entirely new team. Barely anybody on that team has worked on Gears. I mean, they had to prove themselves first. Like, yes, we understand the basics of Gears. We're not going to piss you off, but after this one, we're going in our own direction.
Yeah.
So maybe it's almost like they paid homage to the previous Gears games,
Well, they had to do it for the Gears fans, especially with this being the first one on a new generation.
Right. So, and then after Judgment, they kind of had to get that bad taste of Judgment out of people's mouths.
Yep. They had to clean that up. So it was only right they went back to the old formula, and they did well with it. So
Right.
Can't really complain about it.
Yeah. So
I will say though that both the Coalition and 343, those trailers that they showed off, that stuff was not in the game, and I think that was a huge disconnect from both games. And that actually is, a little bit of a shot at both games, and not providing, what they showed in those trailers. Because I think, for people who haven't played the game, there's not a lot of dialogue between Marcus and his son.
No.
And you would hope that that there would be, since they're showing him, pretty much as an adult, and they kind of go back to Marcus and need his help. So,
all right,
I wish more of that was there.
Right. All right. So, with you saying that, is this a symptomatic thing of game trailers in general, or is this like, something that's going on like with the Microsoft, game trailers, like they kind of sell you on this one thing, and then they kind of, that's not really what it's, hitting on.
Well, I'm trying to think if it's just Microsoft games or if it's, more of a bigger picture thing. A lot of game trailers now are actually showing you, they're like gameplay trailers. A lot of them, I don't see too many like cinematic trailers from a lot of games anymore. So like when you see, something like Gears or Halo, then of course it's like, oh, well, what you showed us wasn't initially in the game or whatever. If you look like, some of the other bigger games that are coming out next, with, the Call of Duties or the Battlefields or even Watch Dogs, it was more of a cinematic trailer, but it shows you like what's kind of going to be in the game. It's nothing too off the beaten path. So I don't know if it's just a Microsoft thing or, a lot of companies just aren't using cinematic trailers anymore, and they're actually just showing, what their games are about.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm thinking like, the Uncharted trailer was kind of, that was kind of on, what the game was about, right?
Right.
Sunset Overdrive, you kind of got the idea of what, they kind of intercut gameplay with, like some dialogue from like one of the main characters or your character or whatever the case may be. I know I kind of went way back on that one. I'm just thinking back on trailers that are coming to mind.
No Man's Sky.
But yeah, but I think of
exactly what you were gonna do.
Sad to say, I think people kind of peg that one.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, again, I can't wait to jump in so I can kind of have an opinion on some of the things that you guys are talking about. But
yeah,
but I do remember Halo 5 in particular that trailer made it seem like it was about to be fucking on.
I know, but it was
Locking and Chief.
That's one thing though. I think that one was interesting because it was trying to focus on one particular issue to not tell you about the real enemy of the game.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
Right.
Because I think it was used to kind of
like throw everybody off.
throw everyone off of who the confrontation's about.
Yeah.
Threw us off the trail. Yeah.
But again,
but I think in that throw off, it was kind of
do that maliciously. But in that particular case, I don't think it was done maliciously as much as it was just to throw everyone off.
Yeah.
I definitely know. I don't think there's any malicious intent, but I definitely think it kind of bit them because it was a cool dynamic.
Yeah.
So it didn't play out that way. It was kind of like, that's kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
Because I think that could have, had that been handled in a certain way, that could have been a really cool, like, side thing to the overall story that would have probably made the campaign even better if they would have fleshed it out. But I do kind of say that I think, and I don't know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 343 was definitely so focused on making sure multiplayer was on point.
Yeah.
That campaigns suffered for it.
Yeah.
Did they not want another Master Chief Collection situation? They couldn't have another Master Chief Collection situation on their hands. So I get it, I understand that, but I definitely think campaigns suffer because of it. You only have so much resource, even a company that big.
That's right.
Shit, they got Microsoft. Microsoft's got deep pockets.
Microsoft got that Rick Ross money.
Shit, yeah, right. Got more money than Rick Ross.
Yeah. Just A little bit, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, hey, B Money, the dude in live chat says, and he brings up a great point. The action set pieces in Gears were definitely more exciting than Halo 5.
Yeah, definitely were.
Yeah.
I think they did well. I think the campaign was solid. I just think
Mm-hmm.
there needed to be more dialogue to kind of flush it out. There, you kind of get thrown in this world and you have like no background story of these characters that you're playing with, and for me that was a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah. I mean, you get a little bit, but it's not really fleshed out. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you kind of get like the bare bones, and then you're just kind of they're thrown into the action immediately.
Because like if you look at the three characters, they kind of focus on two. So like, who is Dell? Like, what is he about? Like, why is he hanging? You know what I'm saying? With Marcus's son. They really don't give you. Yeah, they don't give you any background story. You know who he is or nothing. So it's kind of
as a person who's really only cared about the first Gears. Like I've played the first Gears. I can't bring myself to play 2 and 3 right now. But I mean, for what you're saying, it sounds like it's Gears 1 again. I mean, because Gears 1, they don't talk about anyone's backstory until like briefly, like, oh, Marcus is some badass.
Yeah.
Coltrane.
Kind of just throw you in, yeah.
All right. But who's Baird? Who's Dom? Well, all I know about Dom is he has a wife.
What was his wife's name? Maria?
I don't even know.
It was.
Yeah, I think it was Maria.
Yeah.
I think it was Maria.
But that's a great point. I mean, the same thing happened in Gears 1, but I think they're definitely gonna flesh out the characters a little bit more.
Yeah.
The next Gears game, and this is just setting up the new trilogy. I've heard people make comparisons to this game to the last Star Wars just came out.
I know. I saw that too. I was like, huh. I didn't like the last Star Wars, so
what?
No, man. I'm really ticked off because they played that movie so safe. Like they didn't try anything new. Like that really pissed me off. I was like, say what you will about the prequels, but at least it was a new story.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to have that conversation another time, man. That could be like an entire dedicated podcast on its own. So,
yeah, but I will put a pin in it. I know where Anchor's coming from on that. I did enjoy, the new one, but I get where he's coming from on that. It's almost like Superman Returns. It didn't do anything but recreate like Richard Donner's movie almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can do that on the Anchor's podcast one night, man. Go down there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I haven't played multiplayer yet. I know B-Money, you've been playing a little bit of the multiplayer. I've only played Horde mode. Horde mode is much improved, by the way. Like the character classes really put an emphasis on more teamwork. I was playing with some randos the other night actually, before I hopped on with Gabe, and it's like we were all like kind of like talking and like oh, someone needs to go fix the barrier, someone needs to go fix the turret, and it just adds a different like level of teamwork that just didn't that the previous Gears didn't have, because in previous like Gears, like people just go out and just try to solo this shit by themselves, and you really can't do this. I mean, you really have to rely on your teammates, and each character class has different things they do, similar to like almost like what you see with games like Battlefield. We have engineer classes. You have like a heavy gunner class. I think there's like a scout class. I think, and then there's another one I don't remember. But and then it has the burn cards. You get burn cards like you do, similar to like what you see in Titanfall 2 or Titanfall. But I really like Horde mode. Like it's one of those things. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going to get addicted to this. Because it's fun. We had a blast playing the other night. Although we played it on casual, and you cannot play that shit on casual. It's way too fucking easy. Like I was pissed that we're playing on casual. So B-Money, tell us about the multiplayer, man. Is it feel like Gears?
It definitely feels like Gears, man. It feels like old times. They definitely fixed the weapons from the beta, so the weapon spray is much improved. The hit detection is much improved. And it just feels good to run around again, man. Load up the Nasher and push somebody's wig back, you know what I mean? So, just running around, your squad of 5 guys and going against another 5 guys and making it happen. I think the game modes are pretty sweet. My boys they like team deathmatch. I prefer execution. But yeah, I mean all the classic modes are there: execution, team deathmatch, Warzone. They're there, and then they got the new modes, dodgeball, which is pretty cool. So I'm definitely having a blast with it, man. I'll probably be on that tonight. Once we get off of here. So
nice, man.
Are there any new weapons? I'm sorry, Rita.
Oh yeah, plenty of new weapons. Buzzkill is probably my favorite one. That's
Is that the one with the saw blades?
Yeah, that's one with the saw blades.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. I like the what's the it's almost like a dual shotgun. I forget.
Oh yeah, you talking about the one that the DBs carry?
Yeah. That was pretty sweet. So like you shoot with the trigger, and then as long as you hold the trigger down, it'll hold the second shot. And then once you release the trigger, the second shot will release. So that's a pretty nice weapon. I forget the name of it. But yeah, the retro lancer and stuff is there. Of course the hammer burst. But yeah, a lot of new weapons are pretty dope. They got some new grenades on there too. The shot grenade is pretty nice. So yeah, I'm having fun with it, man. I usually run with the Nasher, so I don't pick up too many new weapons, man. I just want to run around and smack your head off real quick. So I ain't got time to pick up too many weapons.
Yeah, B-Money, are people still is the shotgun combo is that still like the go-to move in Gears? The melee shotgun combo.
People have tried it, man. It ain't working like it used to, man.
Because that was the go-to back in the days.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Nice.
Yeah, I gotta when I get some time, and I'll have to hop on multiplayer, and I gotta get good at multiplayer. I feel like Gears, the multiplayer is like one of the multiplayers that you got to be good.
Yeah, if you ain't good, you're just getting yourself embarrassed, man. So
yeah. I mean, I remember. I'm not gonna even lie, man. Like I remember, after playing, I didn't hop on multiplayer in Gears till like Gears 2. And I remember I had to learn the movement and the maps and everything and the different weapons. It took me a while. And then when I got decent at it, I remember people would join us and we were kind of like assholes if people didn't know how to play it. Because the shit was so competitive.
It is, man. I think it's one of the most competitive shooters, man. If you're not good at it, you know what I mean? Especially if you're playing against somebody who knows how to wall bounce, you're just gonna stress yourself out, man.
Yeah, and there's some guys out there that can wall bounce just flawlessly do it. It's insane. Yeah. I'm not that good at it, or wasn't that good at it. I mean, I was okay at it, but I mean, I would play with guys that were just amazing. They would just fucking go back and forth and just wall bounce. It was sick. You couldn't even touch them. They would just move so flawlessly through the maps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to get in there.
Yeah, so
I was kind of hoping that there might be some story DLC for Gears this time around.
I was hoping for it too. I'm glad you brought that up. We were talking a little bit earlier about the this early access thing and paying extra money, for your game and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I talked about this before in regards to paying $100 to play Gears early and not really feeling like I got what I should have got. Mm-hmm. And I think there definitely should have been something else there besides just the early access, and basically you get all the access to the maps or whatever.
Right.
Well, you also got all the 4 previous Gears games.
Yeah.
Which I mean, if
but I got those with the Ultimate Edition, so I mean, I already had pretty much all of them anyway. So that really, because I'm going to end up giving them all away on here, or that. But I ended up doing the standard. I ended up doing the standard edition.
Good man.
I mean, because I said, down the road, I didn't really know how the extra maps or anything like that were going to affect me. Because honestly, reading through it, I was kind of confused on how it was supposed to work anyway.
Yeah. So what they're doing is like they're gonna release 2 maps every month for an entire year. So they're basically gonna put 24 new maps on there. So if you bought the Ultimate Edition, you have free access to those maps once they're released, and you can basically test out those maps before they release, and you can play them in private matches. Otherwise, if you didn't buy it, you would just get those new maps and like a new map playlist every time they release them. So they'd be in their own separate playlist, and you wouldn't have access to play them in private matches.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Look,
let's see with that. Since I missed the early access and hearing that, I feel better picking up the standard right now.
Well, it's Lemieux. And you saw this, Eric. Lemieux was hot, man. He was like, "Don't support this."
Yeah, man. What did he say to you? That was the funny shit. Like, you said how long the download was taking.
Yeah,
not
so
the download, but
So I didn't pay $100 for the Ultimate Edition. I went to Best Buy, and I have the what is it called, Eric? The Gamers. I always forget.
Club Unlocked.
Gamers Club
Unlocked. Yep. Which is the biggest reason why I've stayed physical as opposed to going all digital, and so I had a $10 rewards cash, and then I had like you get like 20% off or whatever, the game. So I ended up paying like $60 for the game,
which isn't bad.
That's
like getting the game for free, or same price.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, no brainer. I'm just gonna pick it up for $60.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so
and I prefer digital. So I keep saying the one that starts to implement that first with digital is going to win.
Oh yeah,
they're going to win all the money.
Yeah, right.
Because
exactly.
Yeah, because it's kind of actually, what's funny? Like Best Buy, and you probably seen this be money, because you do digital.
Yeah.
Like if you if you go on there and you log in and you're doing your your Gamers Club unlock and everything, you put digital in the cart. Of course, you're not going to get the digital discount. But what's funny is they charge tax on the digital code that you get from them. And I'm like, why are you charging me tax on the digital code?
You gotta make the money, man.
It's like something's like, no, I'm not buying it from you. Even if I get the points, it's like that's stupid. I'm gonna pay you for like $5 extra. No.
Yeah, I'm torn on this whole thing, and the bigger issue I have with it is how the hype comes out after the game comes out. I think if they want to charge something, like if Call of Duty wants to say, hey, give us $100 and you get to play Call of Duty early, fine, go ahead. I don't care. Like, I can wait. I am able to wait, believe me. But what I don't like about it is that whenever the game comes out for that first little group, then the whole media focuses just on that game for that little bit. And so when the game actually comes out, everyone's like, meh. Like, no one talks about it anymore. Like, the hype isn't there. Like, the same feeling isn't there like it used to be when a game came out for everyone all at once.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of what I said to Enrique the other day. Right. I said that to Enrique the other day. I said, that used to be the thing. It's like, whether we were all like out together at a midnight release or whatever the case may be, the hype was there that we were all about to jump on this game that day. And now it seemed like that was kind of split, over the people who were playing it. And shout out to the people that were playing it, because it seemed like for the most part, people were pretty cool about not giving out spoilers.
Yeah.
Or really sharing too much, not ruining it. So that was, because that could also be something that could happen as well, too.
I was Twitch streaming at day one, but
Yeah, but at least with that, I mean, it's a warning. It's not like you're saying, hey, this is what happened in the end, boom.
Right.
So people can, if they want to watch your Twitch stream, they can do that. But yeah, they definitely, I don't know, to me it kind of killed some of the hype momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a part of that first little bit. That's my only real issue with it, though. Like, I'm fine with like certain games. I don't give a damn. Like, like if Mafia 3 did it, I don't give a damn. Like, it's a single player experience. I don't really care. But it's just it's sometimes like just certain games where everyone's going through it together. Like, imagine if Dark Souls decided to do that. Pay us $100 and you get to play it. Because I from what I'm told, the Dark Souls community loves everybody trying to figure out how to get past this boss all at the same time. And if you can't afford that $100 version, you got to wait, and everyone's already figured it out by then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the flip side to this, like with Gears, I saw someone tweet it out. They said, man, it's going to be so unfair for noobs on Tuesday because I guess the multiplayer, you can start, leveling up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but do the levels actually do anything, though, or is it just kind of like a number? Like, does it allow you to unlock certain, like, weapons?
No, you don't unlock anything. It just
I don't think it really matters.
For your rank, it just gives you more points so you can
experience in a day. Like,
yeah.
It helps you with burn cards too.
Yeah, so it just gives you more credit so you can buy more packs.
Okay. So then it doesn't have an effect on who comes in.
Nah, if you shitty at the game, it won't make a difference if you bought it day one or if you bought it 30 days later.
Yeah.
It won't make
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's two games that they have been pretty successful as far as like early access, right? Or has it been more than two?
Two. Well, I mean, if you count EA Access, I mean that's a little different.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, EA does their own little thing. Like right now, with Battlefield 1, you can play Battlefield 1 the trial,
which I played tonight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But real quick, guys, before we wrap up the Gears conversation, so what do you guys think? And I think we brought this up earlier in the conversation, but Coalition versus 343. Who's doing a better job overall now?
I'm giving it to the Coalition, man. Just because I'm biased towards Gears. But overall, I like the campaign, the Gears campaign better than the Halo campaign, and both multiplayers hold up well. I think Halo 5's multiplayer at the time, and even up until Gears release, I think it's still one of the better multiplayers that are out there out of all the games that released this gen. And Coalition just complements what they did. So I think if you're looking for a multiplayer shooter, those are two that I would steer you to. Besides going with like Rainbow Six or something like that. But
yeah.
I can't think on it because I haven't played Gears, so I don't know.
Yeah. I can't really levy a full opinion yet, but I will.
Yeah, I'll go with the Coalition, man. I think that they started off on the right foot. Where 343 I think stumbled a little bit with Halo 4, which was okay, and Halo 5 was just okay. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next Gears. I'm definitely looking forward to what Rod Ferguson and the folks at Coalition will be doing next time around. So I'm excited. So
bring that 4-player co-op back. That's what I know.
Yeah, right. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll bring it back. We'll see. Yeah. So I want to move on to our next topic here, guys. Because Eric, I know you got to head out soon, man.
I'm actually gonna get ready to jet. But yeah, let's introduce the next topic, and then I'll make my exit.
Yeah. So Gears wasn't the only big game that dropped this week. Mafia 3 dropped, and there was a lot of chatter about reviews not being out in time for release, and so I've heard mixed things about this game. I haven't played the game yet. I was kind of on the fence whether or not I was going to pick it up. I probably won't pick it up right now because I hear the game's buggy as shit. Like I hear the game crashes. And again, this is what I'm reading. This is feedback that I've heard from other people that have played it. I guess it's some of the issues have been patched on PC. But some of the technical issues, broken objectives, hard crashes, the core gameplay is lacking. Like, is not like good from what I understand. And some of the missions just seem very repetitive from what I've read from feedback from some people who played it. But Big Money, you have this game, right?
Yes, I do.
And so before, and I just mentioned some of the complaints, but I mean, I've heard some good things too. I've heard that the narrative, the story's pretty good. There's some memorable story missions. The open world's pretty big. There's plenty to see there. Oh, the knock on that is that there's not much to do. So, what are your thoughts, man, on the game? What you played so far?
Overall,
Hey,
I'll
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
I got to get ready to roll. Sorry about that, but I'll definitely be listening to the rest of it later. You guys have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right,
man.
Eric. We'll talk to you later, man.
Got it.
All right.
All right, B Money.
In regards to Mafia 3, I think it's good. It's nothing great or anything like that. I would probably rank it like a 7 or so if you're doing like 1 to 10. When I first got the game, there's like an opening mission, or one of the opening missions is you have to go and kill the Haitians or whatever. And I tried to progress to this mission like 5 times, and every time I tried to start the mission, I just got booted back to the Xbox dashboard, and like it was truly pissing me off to the point where I was just like, I don't even want to finish this game. I don't even want to play it anymore. I turned the Xbox off, hard rebooted it, everything. It like did it again. Now like set it aside and started playing 2K again. And then finally just went back to it, and it finally got past that point, and I was able to progress. But there's definitely a lot of bugs in the game. Like I've tried to kill enemies, and like you'll see the animation, but like the enemy will like keep walking.
What?
Like yeah. Enemies will go like through my arms through killing animation. I've had cars like actually drive upside down. So like there's as you
Oh, you had a
progress,
car drive upside down?
yes. So as you progress through the game, there's actually a weapons van that you can call in. So I call in the weapons van because I was about to start up like one of the major missions or whatever. I need to get some ammo and some like health packs or whatever. So I call them in. I get everything loaded up. So then the van is driving off. So like it hits like another car, and then it starts driving upside down, and it's like driving upside down on my screen, and until it hits like the top, like a rooftop of another car, and then it finally like crashes, and it's just like laying in the ground. So it's been some pretty goofy stuff on the game. But overall, I think like the story is really pretty good. The gameplay isn't horrible, but like you said, I think there's a lot of repetitive missions. I think you'll see that in pretty much any open world game that you play. I think it's just more apparent because this is like it's a mafia game, so you're doing a lot of the same stuff over and over and over again. So, but like I said, I think it's good. Nothing amazing. Would I buy it right now if I can go back? Probably not. I'd probably wait for like a Black Friday sale or something like that. But
All right.
it's all right.
Yeah. So Chicken Spaghetti in the live chat, big shout out to Chicken Spaghetti, says that he's really actually enjoying the game. He thinks it's great. He said that Mafia 3 for him has a depth to it that GTA 5 lacks. He thinks it's actually overall better than GTA 5. He also mentioned when he had experienced some of the bugs you mentioned, but one of the reasons why I want to talk about this game too is because like the bugs, the game kind of, it sounds like it's in some respects it's a little broken. And so I don't want to harp on this topic, but when people were bitching and complaining about the Titanfall disc thing, that's not shit that people should really be focusing on and complaining about. Like this stuff here, what you just talked about, B Money, is stuff that people need to be like bitching about. Especially when you pay $60 for a game, and the game's not fixed, or it's running like it's still in alpha. Like that shouldn't be acceptable. And so to me, those are the things that people should be focused on and be bitching about, not the other stupid shit that really doesn't at the end of the day have any relevance or any impact on your overall gaming experience. So
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it too. You know what I mean? People always complain about the silly stuff, but when games are broken or something like that, nobody makes a big outcry about it. And if they do, they kind of get pushed by the wayside of everybody else, praising the game or whatever the case is. So,
Yeah, I mean it's okay to be critical of a game, and people need to realize that. Like, it's not don't defend a game because it's your favorite developer on your favorite console, whatever the case is. if it doesn't work right, because that's not a good precedent to set. But Anchor, what are your thoughts on this, man?
All right, so I got Mafia 3 day one. Like I actually bought it like on day one. I didn't pre-order it. So like, I knew what I was getting into, so I didn't have a problem with it per se. Like I heard like, oh yeah, it's buggy, and I'm thinking like, okay, it's just buggy. And that's not anything new. In terms of glitches, I want to get this out of the way first. None of the stuff you brought up, I've had a problem with. Be money. I have not had any of those issues. So it's weird. It's not like it's a set thing. Because I went through, what was it? The only issues I had, the first one was just like a minor problem. I noticed the frame rate kept dipping, but it was just like, it was like very, very minor. We're not talking like from 30 to 15. We're talking something like going from 30 to like 25 and just going back and forth. And it was enough to make it have like a flicker effect, and it was just really weird. It was annoying. I was also kind of looking at it. After that, the issue I had was something with the lighting. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but sometimes you would have... how do I explain it? You know how like if you were driving into the sunset and you were in like it would just rained and like everything's really shiny and it's like, oh yeah, because the sun's like gleaming off of it and it looks beautiful. Imagine the sun not being there and it doing that.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And it was just like, it was out of the blue one time. I was just driving on the highway. It was straight noon, so the sun was straight up. Then all of a sudden, everything's just shining like the sun's coming straight at me. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Jeez.
And so like it lasted for maybe like 10 seconds, but it was like blinding. And other than that, the only other thing I've had was the hard crashes, but it wasn't like at any particular time. Like I couldn't predict it. Like it wasn't with any missions. It'd just be like you'd be in the middle of the game, like maybe the middle of a mission, no cutscene or anything, it just crashes. And like normally on Xbox, whenever it crashes, it's something like it'll stop for like, I don't know, 5 seconds and then just go back to the home screen. This one did not. It was just like immediate, like nope, bye, goodbye.
Jeez. Are they so? It has. Are they going to release a patch? I mean, has that been announced?
They're releasing a patch. I don't know when it hits Xbox or PlayStation. I know it's already hit PC. But now that we got the glitches out of the way, I love the story. The story is definitely its strong suit. Like
that's what I keep hearing. Yeah.
The cutscenes are great. The music choice is just amazing for me. I love everything about it. It's just so frustrating that the glitches are there. But it's like whenever it does crash, I get a little pissed off, but I'm not like, I don't want to play the game anymore. Like with Recore. Like I had that problem with Recore. Whenever what would happen, I said I don't want to play anymore.
Wow.
But it was just with this one, I'm like, all right, I'll wait up because I enjoy it that much. Like the gameplay, I mean, it's Mafia. It's an open world game. There's going to be some repetition to it. It's like, I like that kind of stuff. I like a repetitive open world game. I enjoy that.
Hence Fallout.
Yes.
That's why you're a big Fallout fan. Yeah. But you know, the Mafia games have always had good stories. Mafia 2 had a great story.
Oh yeah, this one I like this one. I think the intro sequence, and I think B Money can say this too. I don't know if he liked it this much, but like the intro sequence of it with like right before the Haitians, where you start dealing with the Haitians in terms of like what is it? It's like right before you
So when you're still like celebrating or whatever, coming home.
Yeah, when you're still celebrating, like right before like the game really starts getting into motion.
Right.
Like that moment, I loved those first 2 hours.
Yeah, me too.
I felt like it was handled well. It gave you enough tutorial to play the game, and I was like, all right, this is great. I like this a lot.
Yeah, it really introduced you to the world. You know what you can kind of expect. You know what the city was going to be like, and kind of gave you a little background on the character too. So it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I thought it was probably the best tutorial sequence I've ever done. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It didn't linger any long enough that it needed to. It established characters, and even though I knew what would happen, I mean, even you're going to get betrayed. I mean, that's how they marketed the game. But I really like Georgie, and I was like, oh, I like this guy. He's kind of cool. I enjoy it. And then when they pull the twist, like, nah, you're getting betrayed. They suckered me in. I knew this was going to happen anyway.
Yeah, they suckered me in too, man, because I thought everything was good. You take care of your business, and then you go back and like, damn it, why you have to do me like that? But it's definitely good. Man.
It's a like I said, the cutscenes, the story, the music. That's where the game shines. And I think what's so sad about it is I think this game could have been a Game of the Year contender, but the glitches have just really hurt the game.
They should have just delayed it. That's what they should have done. They should have just fucking delayed the game.
They should have delayed it to like February and released it like right next to Persona 5 and what else the other games coming out? Sniper Elite 4.
Yeah.
Like if they should have put it out there, it would have been great. Like they fix all the problems with it, and it wouldn't be smothered with everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicken Spaghetti's actually comparing it to L.A. Noire and GTA 5. Like he's saying, it's like those two games. That's what it reminds him of.
Yeah, I do want to say,
it's a good mix of those.
What Eric was bringing up about GTA 5.
Yep.
I think it is better than GTA 5 in terms of gameplay mechanics. Because GTA 5, what I hated was that it was like a pinpoint for the third person. It was very pinpoint accuracy based.
It was.
And it was like it's literally a dot on your screen. You will shoot here when you shoot, no matter what gun you have. But Mafia, it's like, all right, you get a circle. This is your spread. Like, no matter what you got. And I was like, all right, I like this better.
Yeah.
The pistols.
I mean, see, now I'm intrigued. I mean, because you guys are, I mean, even though there's obvious technical issues which fuck up the game.
If there was no glitches in the game, it would probably like be up there as one of the better games that have released. It would probably be up there with like a 90 meta.
You think Game of the Year?
To it. Yeah, I think it definitely could have been in contention.
I feel like maybe 80, 85. I'm a little more pessimistic though, but
yeah.
What is it on Meta? And I don't really pay attention to Meta.
I don't even know.
I was actually just looking at it because I had to look for some stuff to review to try to get reviews for, but it's only at 68.
Wow. Well, and a big part of that's probably because of technical glitches.
Yeah.
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 Like just to get an idea of the spread, because I don't like looking at averages. Averages don't tell you the story, and like we'll probably get into talking about this later when we get to another topic. But like the highest is like an 85, but in terms of like game sites we've actually heard of, IGN gave it a 75. Let's see. Game Informer gave it a 68. GameSpot 60.
They tend to grade pretty tough.
I don't know. GameSpot's like sometimes like I think it's just luck of the draw with GameSpot because like sometimes you get a reviewer who just loves everything about a game, and it's like this game's average. Like it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But then you get someone who's like, I'm going to destroy everything you love.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. Well, you know what? I might have to check this game. You know what? It might be like a rental for me, just to check it out. Before I buy it.
Yeah.
I'd say December. I wait till December, like after all the games have come out and the dust has settled a little bit. Like pick it up as like with the Christmas money.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Christmas money game.
Yeah. Except I got 3 kids. All my money's gonna go to them for Christmas.
Yeah.
So, hey, real quick. Speaking of reviews, you guys, I'm sure you guys read about Phil Spencer's comments. Speaking of GameSpot, Phil Spencer's comments about reviews.
Yeah.
And how he thinks like some of them are purposely done for clickbait. What did you guys think about that? I thought it was interesting he commented on it, but I think there's some truth to what he said. That there's clearly some obscure sites out there that need to generate traffic, and they probably do this. I was just surprised that he brought it up or that he even talked about it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? You guys think it was a good thing that he brought it up?
I don't know. I don't think it helps or hurts him to bring it up, personally. So I mean, like, hey, I mean, he's addressing something we all kind of know. Like, I think everyone with a brain kind of knows some reviewers have ulterior motives when they review a game. I mean,
Right.
like, there's some reviews where, like, it's not like, hey, I'm not trying to say it's bias or whatever, but normally when a game comes out, everyone's generally within a certain range.
Yeah, it's usually like
Like,
a 8 to 12 point swing or whatever.
yeah, I mean, clearly there are some games like it's all over the board. Like no one really, there's no consensus about a single game. What was that game that came out over the summer? There was a game that came out over the summer, and it was just reviews were all over the board. Like it was like 4, 9, 7s, 8s,
4
it
9.
was all
Holy
over
shit.
the place.
7s. What was this was this like an indie game or a big like AAA release?
I don't remember what it was. It was what was it? It was very mixed.
Was it No Man's Sky?
No,
That would have been my guess.
I mean, it could be No Man's Sky. I mean, but like, I think what I mean, though. I mean, there are games that just come out and that's all over the place.
Yeah.
But most of the time, there's normally like a window, like with 3 to 4 point range. Like, all right, when Recore came out, the spread was like 7 to 5, somewhere in there. Most of them were coming out in around that spread.
I saw some
people
10s.
were like, oh, 4. Some people were like, oh, maybe I'll give it an 8. And then
I
you got
saw
some
some
sites who are out here like 9.5. And it's like, what? Or then you got like there's other ones, and I think this is the other one that Phil brought up was that like Forza Horizon 3. Everyone's shooting like 8s and 9s, and then you got a random site out of nowhere gives it a 4. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. But you know, it's interesting. A lot of people took his comments like as further proof that there's media bias towards Xbox. And like I didn't take it that way. Like I was like, okay, yeah, this happens, but it also happens on the other side of the fence too. I mean, you know, I've seen Sony games get, you know, some interesting reviews. The Last of Us, they got like a 7 by Polygon or something, and that was like a critically acclaimed Game of the Year type AAA game. You know, so I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I thought the comments were interesting. But yeah, that the review he was talking about with Forza Horizon 3 that got like a 4.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
it's like ridiculously low. And it's like the guy just didn't like it because it wasn't Dirt Rally Racing or something.
yeah.
It was like,
But you know, it's like but people like should focus on that stuff. Like, you know, I see people get upset. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. It is what it is. You know.
I mean, it's like I mean, there's definitely a problem though. I mean, because when people get Metacritic status to like, oh, we're important. I can determine the outcome of any game's Metacritic score, and I can like because we know that some developers, I mean, they get paid a bonus based on how well their Metacritic score is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's places like that. I mean, it does determine it. It does affect things. But I mean, like on a personal consumer level, we shouldn't let it bother us that much. But I mean, it does affect things. And like I don't like averaging scores. Because averaging, you can have one person just totally blow it out of the water.
How about we just get rid of scores altogether?
What's up?
How about we just get rid of scores altogether?
Mm.
That's what we should do. Just get rid of scores.
I don't know. I liked the star system. Like he's made it simple, but now everyone's fighting over decimal points. Like what was it? What was the big thing lately? It was Uncharted and Tomb Raider. They were like, they were mad that because Tomb Raider got like a 1 decimal point higher than Uncharted 4, and I'm like, this is worth fighting?
No, it's not fucking worth fighting at all. It's just Anyhow, I didn't want to like, you know, go too much into the media bias, but I just thought that was interesting since we were talking about reviews. But speaking of Rise of the Tomb Raider just came out for the PlayStation 4. And I played it last year. I thought it was a great game. One of the best games I played last year, in my opinion, at least. Are you guys picking this game up? Because I know you guys are both multi-console owners. Well, I think you are, Anchor. You own a PlayStation 4?
No, not anymore. I haven't had one for years.
Okay.
I got one back from Taco Bell. I was
You want a Taco Bell one?
And we didn't get ours until day of, but I mean, it wasn't a big deal, and I just gave it to my brother instead.
Oh, nice.
because he needed a system, and I was like, hey, take this one. And he was more of a PlayStation guy anyway.
Yeah. B Money, is this something you're going to pick up again, man? Play?
I will probably pick it up again. I'm not running out to buy it because, of course, I've already played the game, but I will pick up the Game of Year edition on PS4, probably around Black Friday or so. Once I find a good deal on it, I'll pick it up and play the rest of the DLC or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, unless you were really focused on that DLC, I didn't think the game was as good as people were letting on. Like, I was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the game was pretty good. I didn't think it was like anything earth shattering or anything like that, but you know, it held my attention.
I loved him. I loved the crafting and everything you could do. You know, the stealth. I loved it all. I thought it was a really good game.
Yeah, I'm just glad that they fixed the tombs, man. You know,
yes.
This is one of the bigger issues I have with a lot of games, and like the Arkham series has this problem as well, where yes, your game is technically open world, but you're tonally not.
Right.
An example being like separated from Tomb Raider, like Arkham City. I felt no need to go do any of the side stuff because I was like, "Oh, this is one night. I'm running out of time. I gotta go to the main story. I gotta rush." Like I know technically you don't have to. I mean, it's always gonna be nighttime, but the way the story is paced, it makes you feel like you have to do it now, like you're on a time scale. And the problem with Rise of the Tomb Raider was that the entire time you're in a race to get something, or you're trying to protect something. It's like, Laura, go up to this point. And because the guys are coming and they'll be here any minute. Oh, and by the way, here's a side mission about some chickens. It's like this doesn't make sense totally. Like I'm not going to give a damn about the chickens. And so it just didn't work on a storytelling level. And I understand like the gameplay worked within that scenario, but I just didn't think it worked in opening up the world.
Yeah, oh, that's funny, man. Oh, by the way. Yeah, and actually, you know, they're getting, this game's also getting there's a PlayStation VR option where you can explore through VR. I guess her home.
Yeah, there's like this whole mission thing.
Yeah. So
yeah, Croft Manor.
Is it? Yeah, Croft Manor. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna wait. You know, I'll wait till it drops down in price. I might pick it up again, but I'm not gonna go out and buy it. Not anytime soon. I'll put it in the backlog later on when it drops in price. So, yeah. Speaking of delays, Cuphead got delayed, and we were talking about this before we came on air. Now, Anchor, you played this game at E3?
Yeah, I did.
And B Money, you played it too, right?
Yeah, I played it not this E3, but last 2 years ago.
Yeah. So you know, I had heard from someone that the game was definitely coming out in December, and now it's not happening. And it's like, it's one of the games that's like on my most anticipated game list for the Xbox at least. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I mean, I guess, obviously, anytime a delay happens, people get disappointed. But I guess at the same time, I'd rather, as we were just talking about Mafia 3, I'd rather the game release like good and no issues, and if that means delaying it, then so be it. But what do you guys think that this thing's going to come out though? Because it's been delayed before. Like, wasn't it supposed to come out last year too? Like,
yeah, then they pushed it back to add levels to the game because it was just like a boss battle game at first.
Yeah.
And then Microsoft kind of stepped in and was like, "Yo, we need this to be more of a game." And not just boss battles. So they went back to the drawing board, added that stuff to it, and man got a chance to play it. I didn't get the chance to play the levels. So how did that feel playing the levels?
Hard as shit.
Yeah. Playing just the boss battles was fucking annoying.
It was pretty challenging. I mean, it was not like what's the kind of game? It's not like what is it? It's like playing like World. Like 3 of like Super Mario Bros. I mean, it's the old school side scroller difficulty. It's none of this like, oh yeah, here jump around, do this one little thing. It's not like that, but it's a little more difficult than like the average game, which I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it wasn't.
Is it like Ori difficult?
It it's a different kind of game because it's a shooter.
Yeah, I think it's a
like
little bit more
Contra.
difficult than Ori.
It's kind of like Contra in regards to like you're focusing your fire and trying to time it just right.
Wait, did you just say Contra?
Yeah, but
Damn.
not as much as like shooting ammunition wise.
Damn, dude, you just took it
It's
back.
also meant to be 2 players.
Yeah, you just took it
Yeah.
back. And by the way, I think
I'm here
John
for the
just joined us.
gameplay.
Mr. Negative. What's up, John?
Not much. Just wearing a muscle shirt to show off my incredibly powerful shoulders and traps. So thought all the ladies would enjoy that.
Your upper dorsius muscles.
My the upper dorsinus connects to the lower dorsinus. It's boring, but it's part of my life.
Well, thanks for joining us, man. We're just talking about Cuphead being delayed for the Xbox. I don't know if you had
Yeah, all kinds of fucking delays going on this year, man. Like the entire year has been delayed to 2017, right? Yeah. Fucking somebody had actually told me, like, so somebody had said that Whoa, what's happening?
What's happening?
Is this a fucking takeover?
Hold on, wait. Okay, so
Is this a takeover?
this is like a fucking takeover. We have Tick here, and now we got 2 members from Tick, and we have 2 members from SDGC.
And Enrique, it looks like you're the fucking odd man out.
Yeah, clearly I'm fucking on man out here. JT, what's up, man?
I thought I would bring a friend.
No, I appreciate that, man. JT's always
you mean
welcome.
backup. You brought backup.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, JT, we're just talking about Cuphead being delayed. Before that, we're talking about Mafia 3. Real quick, I'll go to you, JT and John. Have you guys picked up Mafia 3? Played it?
No, I could care
No,
less.
but I've enjoyed the shit out of seeing all of the GIFs on the internet of all the glitches going on in that game.
Flying cars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny shit.
Yeah, B Money was talking about the cars. Were they driving on their backs? What was it?
Yeah,
Upside down.
they're driving upside down, man. It's ridiculous.
All right. Now we've evened things sort of. Sam's now with us. Sam, what's going
Hello,
on, man?
everybody.
What's happening, Sam?
What? Is everybody coming in on the fucking back end? Like, what's going on? I don't understand.
Impromptu road work is my nemesis. That's what's going on.
Okay, because me and Flunky literally just joined like 1 minute ago.
Yeah. Hey, John, you're breaking up a little bit. Like it's your
Hold on.
voice is coming like static.
Button.
Hold on. I'm too much man for this podcast. That's why. Hold on.
Huh.
All right, is that better?
No, it's still static.
Son of a fucking bitch.
It
Okay.
started when JT joined.
Oh, it's JT's
Should I hop on?
uploaded.
Can you not handle all these people?
Oh, I can handle it.
Yeah, that's what
We got
I'm
fired.
okay.
Back to the discussion. I'm super bummed about Cuphead. Like that game looked cool.
Yeah, it did look cool. And actually, Anchor was giving us his some
Yeah.
of his impressions from E3. So, Anchor, why don't you talk about just the game, what you played at E3 this year?
Yeah, I mean, I got to play the levels. I didn't get to play any of the boss battles because they were just showing off the levels they actually created, and I enjoyed it. It's a little more difficult than like a standard modern day like a like a Rayman game or something like that. But it's a little more of a shooter, and I was trying to say it's kind of like Contra, except less ammunition flying around. But because it's built to be 2 players.
Gotcha. I still can't believe you fucking pulled like Contra. That was my game back in the days.
I was trying. I can't think of a good comparison towards it. I mean, it has more of an old school difficulty to it, but like I said, it's not super easy. Like it was enjoyable. Like it was a nice challenge, and learning the controls and learning like timing, like with platform timing and slide. The big thing about the game though is it looks like it's going to be more of an aesthetic kind of game. And it really is. I mean, if you talk about the technical stuff, I mean, they hand drew pretty much everything. Like that's impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I love that. Like, and I'm more of an animation dude. I love learning about all this like different styles and voice acting stuff as well. I just thought it was interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. But I'm really ticked off about this delay. I hate getting jerked around a lot. Especially when it comes to game releases. Like I normally give everyone like one delay, like a major delay. Like okay, Like when the Division got delayed for the first time, like in 2013 to 2014, I was like, all right, cool, fine, I'll deal with that. And then it got delayed to 2015. I said, nope, you're dead to me.
Damn.
That's what I heard. I heard you like getting jerked around all the time.
Oh boy. Hey, John, John, you're still like breaking up, man.
God damn, man.
It's like static.
All right, hold on.
I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah, so John, we had heard that it was going to come out in December. So, what's that?
Is that better?
Yep, I think so.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Awesome.
Kind of.
Yeah, no, I
no, it's not better.
Fuck.
You might have to drop out and come back in, man.
Yeah, let me try that.
Yeah. So John, like I said earlier, guys, John and I had heard it was going to come out in December. So this, but at the same time, it's like if the game's not ready, don't release it. Like we talked about Mafia 3 and all the glitches, and you guys are saying like had they not had all these glitches, it could have been top game.
It could have been game of the year. I totally believe it could have been game of the year. The story is so good, and the music selection, and I like the mechanics of it. I mean, it's a classic open world game, and I love those kinds of games. Yes. I just don't like the glitches. Just really take away from it.
Which are you talking about Mafia?
Yeah,
Mafia 3. Yeah,
I picked up Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I feel like that was money better spent for me. And that's kind of what I've been playing. I have heard nothing but, and again, this is totally anecdotal, but I have heard nothing good about Mafia 3 except for the main character Lincoln, and I've heard the story is good, but I've heard the AI is just atrocious. I've heard the AI is terrible. It's glitchy. There's not a lot, like the world is big, but it's empty. And for some weird reason, there's no 100, like for trophies and achievements. There's nothing for getting 100% in the game for completing everything. There's no chivos or trophies for collecting all the collectibles. And there's no fast travel. And with a game with a map that huge, what a fucking oversight.
It's not that big, honestly.
Fast travel. I've heard it's pretty damn big. Like when you're out in the bayou and you're slinging smack out there or whatever you're doing. I
can smack.
But that's what they call it on the streets, right? But I have heard that for example, if you go to point A and you've got to go all the way back to point B to keep the story going, then there's no fast travel. You've got to drive. And that it just sounds tedious to me. It sounds overly tedious. And in today's world where everything's a fucking open world collectathon, to not include fast travel. I mean, fucking Tomb Raider has. I'm playing Rise of Tomb Raider right now, and it's got fucking fast travel. And if that has fast travel, there's no reason for Mafia 3 not to have it, in my opinion.
I don't know. As a person who've played it, I don't think it really needs fast travel. I don't think a lot of games need fast travel. But it's just... I
mean, I don't think they do either, but if you're an open world game, I would argue you absolutely fucking need it.
I know. I mean, as a person, I love open world games. I mean, I think some I think they do need it, some that don't. It mostly has to do with speed, though. Like Fallout...
Fallout without fast travel.
Yeah, it needs fast travel for Fallout because there is no faster way to get around the map. But, I didn't think GTA needed fast travel. I didn't think Mafia needed fast travel. Because, I mean, you can drive. You can get there. It's not... And there's ways to get places faster, and I don't think it takes that long to get across the map.
But see, the thing is, and this is the complaint that I've heard from people who have played the game, is the fact that no, in a sense you're right. You don't need fast travel in an open world game if the open world is compelling and rich and captures your imagination one way or another as you're moving through it. For example, Fallout's a great example. Skyrim's a great example. The Witcher 3, even though I'm not the biggest fan of The Witcher 3, that's also a great example. You can't walk 10 fucking feet without an interesting side quest or an NPC approaching you, what's his name, Barbas the dog in Skyrim, who fucking comes up, and all of a sudden you're going on a quest for the Mace of Moloch ball.
Yeah.
It's interesting shit like that. Walking through that open world and knowing anything could fucking happen at any time. Mike the Liar could come up, or a fucking dragon could fly overhead, or I could see a fucking giant fighting a mammoth. That's what I love about games like Skyrim and Fallout 4 is that their open worlds are alive and they feel alive and populated, and there's that sense of anything could happen at any time. And I've heard. Again, this is not from my personal observations, but I've heard that Mafia 3's world just doesn't have anything interesting like that, which makes getting from point A to point B a chore. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just speaking from personal experience, I don't think it does. Of course, I'm also a freak for getting to see the South in a game finally. I mean, there's a couple examples, but most of the time with open world games, it's always up north, like Chicago or New York.
LA.
I want to see somewhere different.
Yeah, well, that is one of the things that I think is appealing about Mafia 3, and also games like Infamous 2 or Infamous Second Son is the fact that you're getting areas that you don't, like Seattle, for example, or New Marais, which is basically fucking New Orleans in Infamous 2, and was it New Bordeaux in Mafia 3? Is another great example. Areas that you don't, because I mean, like the big fucking skyscraper city, it's kind of been done to death. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's everybody. That's what we're all used to in open world games, or at least open world games like this. So I think I do like the change in setting. I just don't really like with everything else coming out, like Battlefield and Final Fantasy 15. I'm still fucking knee deep in Darkest Dungeon. I got Rise of the Tomb Raider going. I mean, fucking Skyrim coming out, which is good. The Dark Souls DLC. Like I don't.
Oh my god.
I just don't. I just
Is
don't.
anybody playing that tonight on EA Access?
I played a half hour tonight and streamed it. It looks fucking sick.
I've got it downloaded. I'm so ready to boot that up tonight.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, that's going to be fucking good. Like,
Yeah.
and even then, there's so many games coming out that I don't know what to spend my money on. But I do know not what to spend my money on, and Mafia. With everything coming out, I just don't have time for Mafia 3.
Yeah, I guess I suggested like pick it up like in December.
Yeah.
Like if you got that Christmas cash, and normally most games are on sale, like by then. So
That's when The Last Guardian comes out.
What?
That's when The Last Guardian comes out. Why would I pick up Mafia 3?
I forgot about The Last Guardian.
Last Guardian's coming out, man.
It's coming out this year.
It's getting delayed again.
Yeah. No, there's no like that. I'll tell you this much. If The Last Guardian gets delayed again, that game's never fucking coming out. If it gets delayed again, I'm gonna be like, yeah, hey, cool, they canceled The Last Guardian because it's never fucking coming out.
Yeah.
Period. And that's a whole other. I don't know if you guys have you guys talked delays.
No, we haven't talked that. We just talked about Cuphead.
There's another game that was delayed. I caught the tail end of that, but yeah, Enrique and I had been told by a source that we trust that Cuphead was supposed to come out in December. That was the original, but I guess shit happens and it got pushed. But everything's getting fucking pushed. Everything's getting fucking delayed.
Yeah, I mean, what's it called? Gravity Rush 2 got delayed.
Oh, I can't fucking that one hurt.
I was like, and I was so.
What did that happen?
Yeah, here's the thing though. I don't think that's because the game isn't ready. I think it's because they realized they would get fucking murdered by Final Fantasy 15.
I mean, maybe. I guess.
Murdered.
Yeah.
I am confident that's why. I mean, because at that point it's coming out literally the next week after Final Fantasy 15, and I think on the same fucking day as Gravity Rush 2.
Does The Last Guardian?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Last Guardian. Yeah, that's what. And at that point, dude, Gravity Rush 2 is fucking like no matter which game wins, like that game loses.
Yeah.
So I honestly, I would not be surprised if Gravity Rush 2 was about to go gold. But they're doing the smart thing, I think. What fucking Microsoft should have done with Rise of the Tomb Raider last year and moved that motherfucker as far away from Fallout 4 as it possibly could have. I think that's what Sony is doing. I think that's what Sony's doing with The Last Guardian, and they're smart to do it because it's not a mainstream game. Those games, I mean, I love the way to games, but they're never mainstream. And Final Fantasy 15 is going to inhale that game's soul if it releases anywhere close to it.
Respawn should fucking delay Titanfall 2.
Yeah,
They should. They absolutely should. But they're not going to.
I have a couple of theories. I've been spitballing this for about like a year now about why either Square or Microsoft didn't change the date. I think it had something to do with that exclusivity deal.
Uh-huh.
That if they delayed it, they wanted to be like, no, can we just delay it and then it come out for everyone? They're like, no, we paid good money for this. You're going to release it now. We don't give a damn. Do it.
Can I give you my honest opinion as to what I think it was? I think we can all agree that that was the game that was going to go head to head with Uncharted 4.
Oh yeah,
Right.
100%.
And when Uncharted 4 got delayed, Microsoft was like, well, fuck. They're like, shit. Okay, now we've got Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's done. Like, it's going to be released on time. What the fuck do we do with it? Like, do we put it in a warehouse for 6 months? I mean, does it sit around? And I don't. There were, to be fair, there were no really good options with Rise of the Tomb Raider. Having said that, it has been proven by games like Dying Light that if you push that shit to January, February, it's going to sell a lot better.
Yeah.
I think that I think that's just me, but I think that's what Microsoft should have done with Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think it would have sold a lot better on Xbox One had they just gotten it out of the way. Or if Fallout 4 hadn't been releasing, I think that would have been a huge tentpole game for them.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
that fall.
Whenever Todd Howard was on stage for the Bethesda conference in 2015, Microsoft was going, fuck.
Yeah, I guarantee, which makes me feel like neither they nor Microsoft were privy to Fallout 4's release date, because I can't fucking imagine a world where anybody would schedule any game release next to fucking Fallout. I don't see a world where that happens. I just don't.
An insane man would do so.
An insane man would do so, but we're all reasonable men, Enrique.
Well, some of us are.
Some of us are. But yeah, I don't know. That's just how I see it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to go back to Gears of War real quick because Sam, I know you've played it. I guess we lost JT.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
It looks like, and you're gonna lose me here soon because I've got a hard stop tonight. I just wanted to pop in and apologize for not being on the podcast tonight.
Oh, no worries, man. It's all good.
And kind of hang with you guys just a little bit. Can I give a quick plug before I drop out, Enrique?
Always, man.
I don't want to plug the podcast because everybody's heard that fucking spiel before. But what I do want to say is that we recently got our first review code for Shadow Warrior 2. So on superdeformedgamescast.com, our website, you can actually, our review will go live at 12:01. Should be going live at 12:01. And if you want to see a good 2.5 hour vertical slice of the game, you can go to our channel. JT, who was just on, he did a live stream for 2.5 hours. So if you want to see some really awesome Shadow Warrior 2 gameplay, you can go to our YouTube channel and check that out. And it looks fucking awesome. And tomorrow night on the podcast, JT is going to really get into what he thought of the game. And I can go ahead and tell you that his impressions are all positive. I'm not breaking the embargo by saying that his impressions are all going to be positive. But yeah, look for the review. That's our first review copy on SDGC.
Awesome.
So.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
That's great to hear.
Big. I was kind of fucking stunned when that happened, to be honest with you. I was like, hey, can we have a review copy for Shadow Warrior 2? She's like, here you go. And I was like,
nice.
JT, we need you to fucking write. Yeah. So it's more, now he didn't finish the game, so it's more of an impressions than it is review, because we do want to, we don't want to fucking pull like some YouTubers do and be like, I reviewed the game after playing an hour of it. So, I'm not gonna name any names or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, I've been wanting to do that for a while.
That's funny.
Anyway, I'm going to we won't call it a review. It'll be more of an impressions deal. But anyway, with that, I'll get out of your hair. Sorry for having to leave, Enrique, and sorry for not being on the podcast tonight. I just had some shit I had to take care of.
No, that's all good.
Anchor, always good to talk to you, man. It's been too long.
All right, man.
And the rest of you guys, see you tomorrow on SDGC, which goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sounds good. We got to get JT back on here, man.
What's that?
We got to get JT back on here.
I told him to come in. I was like, dude, fucking come in. I was like, fuck. I guess before I leave, I should throw a little curse for walking out there, right?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I guess I'll say, well, listen, if you're interested in Shadow Warrior 2, what I recommend is going to our YouTube channel where Flunky streamed it for 2.5 hours. It was amazing. That's all I got for you. All right.
All right, man.
It's been a long day. See you guys later.
All right, John. We'll catch you tomorrow, man. So Sam, so real quick, man, because I wanted to get your thoughts on Gears, because I know you were we talked a little bit about it on DM, and I know we talked about this earlier, but I definitely want to get your impressions and thoughts on Gears of War.
Okay. So spoiler free, obviously, because I mean most people just got their hands on the game.
Yep.
I love it. I am 100% in love. I think the Coalition has not just done a great job. I think they have done a phenomenal job. It's definitely my favorite since Gears 3. It may honestly, depending on exactly how much time more I spend with the Horde and multiplayer over the next few weeks, and I can see myself spending a lot of time with it, I think it may actually exceed it. I mean, I'm just having a blast. The gunplay, they didn't really need to fix much, but there was a bit of weapon balance and tuning here. A lot of the lessons from, I think, Gears Ultimate Edition have from last year have sort of carried over into the design, and it just really works well. I think the campaign, I have a couple of small, complaints, but I think as a general rule, it was handled very well. It's an awesome ride. You got a lot of cool cameos and other things like that. And I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, have you played Horde mode? You know what? Yeah, we played Horde mode the other night.
And me and my brothers have played some Horde as well. We've gone through it a couple of times.
Yeah, although we played it on casual, that wasn't very challenging.
No, especially not because we had 5 people. So I mean, you got that. I did another wave where it was just 3 of us, and it was on normal, and it's way more difficult. There's a big jump in enemy variety and like how tough the bosses are when you go from casual to normal. And I presume from normal to hardcore and hardcore to insane. So we just don't need to play on casual next time, and we'll be okay.
Yeah. We'll have to we'll have to get a game going, and B Money. We gotta get you in Horde too, man.
Oh, anytime, man. Just let me know.
We gotta get you off 2K though. I unsuccessfully tried to get you off 2K with Halo, or not with Halo, with
Destiny.
With
man.
Destiny. It didn't work.
I still haven't played the DLC on Destiny yet, man.
Oh man, you haven't done that yet?
Not yet, man. It's gaming season. We had 2K, and then Destiny released, and then after that was Gears and Mafia. This week was the 2K wrestling game came out on Tuesday. So
I think I saw some other like I saw some people posting on Twitter like some of the glitches in that game too.
Yeah. So
yeah.
and then next week, we got Battlefield. So I mean, it's gaming season, so it's tough to keep up right now, man.
I'm telling you guys, Battlefield 1 looks good. Good. I was just like, the lighting in that game is just, I'm just like, wow.
Has it been improved since the beta? Have they improved the effects?
So it's hard. I would say yes, just based on the map that because what you're playing is a campaign right now, and the one multiplayer map was the one map they had in the beta was a desert map, but it looks better. But you're also in a smaller. The map's a little bit smaller too, so maybe that's why it looks a little bit better. But
more work put in on the smaller, denser map. That makes sense.
Yeah, there's more detail there, but it's hard to say because I feel like in order to give an accurate opinion on whether or not it looks better than the beta, and I'm sure it does, because but I thought the beta looked pretty good too, though, at least for that.
Oh yeah, and the beta did look good for sure.
But I'd have to see that map, again. But the game looks. I mean, shit, the game looks incredible. And I guess
Frostbite engine going doing the work, man.
I guess, man, but shit, Battlefield 4 came out on the other consoles too, so it was kind of held back in that regard. But I'm telling you, B Money, this game looks good. It might be one of the best looking games I've seen, man.
Do you think it looks better than the Star Wars game, Battlefront?
Yes.
Yeah, because Battlefront looked amazing.
Yeah, Battlefront looked good. This looks a little more polished than Battlefront.
Yeah.
At least from the first 30 minutes that I played.
Right.
Yeah. But it's and it kind of reminds me of like a little bit like the way it started off. Kind of reminded me of like Band of Brothers a little bit.
Okay.
A little more episodic, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm gonna play some more tomorrow. I may Twitch stream some more, but I did do a Twitch stream the first like 30 minutes of the game. So you guys want to check that out? I'll have that up on the YouTube channel later tonight.
So since you started playing the first 30 minutes, was there? Did you have to switch between characters, or how is that dynamic working with the campaign?
Yeah, you do. It's basically what you saw.
Like in the trailer?
In the trailer, yeah, and it's kind of like an introduction, and it's really kind of it's also like a tutorial, really too. Like how to use the weapons and stuff, and
right.
Gives you and then it kind of opens up with them, and then it ends, with the two individuals staring at each other, but then it goes to one of the other characters in a tank, and then the campaign really starts there. Okay. So that's why I said I got like that kind of like Band of Brothers feel, because it went through the different characters and then it stopped and then it went to like the main campaign where you get introduced to this tank driver and you guys are going through, you guys are in France, I think, and you guys are trying to invade a German stronghold and you're doing it in the tank. So, but it's cool, man. Like the explosion, the particle effects, this shit looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm actually for a Battlefield campaign. Again, I know it's only 30 minutes, but I'm excited to get back on and play some more.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll say this much though. Like the one thing I did notice, like the gun on the tank, the sound effect of the gun on the tank when you shoot, it sounds very much like the 50 cal in the Abrams.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I was kind of like, it sounds like the 50 cal in the Abrams. Like it shouldn't sound like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it just, like I said, it looks good. One thing I noticed, I do have to turn my I got to change my visual settings. I got to turn the brightness up a little bit because it was a little bit hard for me to tell between the friendlies and versus the enemy versus the Germans. So that was a little bit, but that was because I think my brightness was turned down a little bit too low, so I got to turn that up a little bit. But yeah, so so we got one more topic that I want to talk about tonight, and I'm sure many of you know who Amy Hennig is. I think yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, she was at she was at Naughty Dog for about, I believe, about a decade, about 10 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and she was director of the Uncharted series, among some other games, and did a lot of the writing for that game, and left, recently. Actually left before, I forget when she left.
I think it's 2014. I think she left in 2014.
2014.
I remember doing a fanboy video about it.
Yeah.
I was full of piss and vinegar.
Piss and vinegar. Oh my god! So she left, and that was that was huge when she left.
Oh yeah, caused a bunch of shakeups.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, they sort of changed the direction of, from what I understand, if I'm not mistaken,
they changed it. They fired an entire, like they had one guy who was supposed to be the villain and he quit or something like that, and they changed up the story. Like that was a real thing.
Yeah, my understanding is that the story has, apart from the cast, almost nothing in common with what it was originally going to be, what her vision for it was.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was there 10 years, and she was recently interviewed, and she was talking about, some of the challenges of working on a AAA game, and by the way, she's at Visceral now. She's actually writing. She's doing the writing for a new, I guess, Star Wars game that's coming out. I don't know when, but anyhow.
Yeah. They're not talking about her game yet.
What's that?
I said they're not talking about her game yet.
No.
They said it not until 2018, maybe.
Is it 2018?
Yeah.
Probably coincide with the next. Well, no, because. Well, when's the next Star Wars come out? Well, there's one coming out this
year.
This year, yeah. And
then the next big Star Wars, which will probably be whenever they actually release a real Star Wars game.
Oh,
will be next year.
Next year, okay. So, So she was talking about her days working on AAA games, working at Naughty Dog, and she mentioned that that basically on average she would work like 80-hour weeks, 7 days a week, 12-hour days, and that it was a lot of the stress was just there was a lot of stress involved in developing these games and working those hours. She made reference to people, um, you know, people getting divorced, people checking themselves into, like not rehab, but like I guess I don't want to say mental clinics, but basically like going to seek like help afterwards because the stress was just so intense. Um, and she basically said like it's AAA development it's an arms race that's unwinnable. Um, and she just said it's a huge sacrifice in one's personal life and lifestyle. Like it's just it's almost she almost made it sound like it's oh well she should stop fucking complaining because she makes a lot of money. I think maybe that's not really people kind of missing the point by just saying that because money isn't always everything either, especially when it comes to quality of life. You can make, all the money in the world, but if you're not enjoying that, you're not enjoying time with your friends, you have no quality of life, what's the point of having that money? But I just thought it was an interesting kind of eye-opening, tale into AAA development and a lot of the hard work that goes into making these games and potentially the lack of maybe quality of life that people have and working on these titles. So, but then also made me wonder, like if and I don't know we don't know what it's like working at Visceral, but obviously she's working on another big game,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wondering like what the motivation was, why she's coming out with this, because you guys remember Rod Ferguson a couple weeks ago talking about game development, and he's talking about like indie development, how some guys you leave big studios to do indies because they're saying that there's a little more quality of life, there's not that much pressure, but he's like no, it's still there, you're scraping for like change, you're trying to figure out like how you're going to get your game done, like all that pressure's still there.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you guys think about her comments, though? And I'll start with you, Anchor, since you're our guest this evening.
I mean, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, because I know a lot of developers they either do like go through a crunch period or something like that, where like they understand that yes, it's rough. Like you're trying to get the game done in time. It's called crunch for a reason. But at the same time, I mean, it is ridiculous having to work 80-hour work weeks. And, I mean, it kind of shows you how development is. I mean, it's not even just, I bet it's not even just game development. It's just, like, working on a project in general with any sort of timeline. And especially doing something you love. Because like, you have that extra passion to do something and make sure it's done. And do it right. It's not like it's just some job where you're just clocking in, clocking out, like, oh yeah, I really don't care about this. I'm more about getting the paycheck. But it's doing something you love, and you put that passion and effort into it. I mean, it's rough.
Yeah. Well, I just thought it was interesting, like how she was talking about, like people getting divorced, and like people like basically like stressing the fuck out.
I mean, I could definitely understand it. I went to school for game development, and I've been part of some indie dev groups and things like that. And last year, I actually went to my first development weekend or whatever. So we had to develop a game
Yeah.
In 3 days, or basically like 72 hours. So they basically set us up in this art studio, and everybody brought their PCs and their laptops, and I brought my drawing pad and stuff like that. And, there was probably 80 of us all in this little art gallery or whatever. And we stayed there for 3 straight days trying to complete a game. And, we're all in our little groups or whatever. So there was 4 guys in our group. And the stuff that I mostly studied in school was animations, 2D art, 3D art, stuff like that. So I did most of the art. and then we had a coder, we had a sound guy, and then one guy, he was just kind of new to it, so he was just kind of just learning and trying to help us, wherever he could or whatever. But just doing that, like, stressed me the hell out. You know what I mean? Just trying to start a game, and just a basic game. You create a character, make them be able to go through like 1 or 2 levels, add sound to it, add the animation, things like that. That was stressful enough, in those 72 hours. I couldn't imagine, trying to put together a AAA production, having the sound quality there, the animation is correct, the coding is correct. I know that has to be stressful, regardless of, what your timeline is, whether it be a 2-year span or a 5-year span. Try to put your best work forward, and try to really be committed to it. It takes a lot of time, you know what I mean? So you're going to lose that time from family, from your friends, and you kind of got to be dedicated to it. So I totally understand, those comments, because, I went through that in just a short period of time, and I've still have dreams of making my own indie game. It's just, trying to put the right crew together, trying to, set our timelines together and things like that. And you guys know I have 3 kids, so, my timing is very off. You know what I mean? I don't have much time to dedicate to stuff like that. So I couldn't imagine, just doing that as a living, and, really being away from my family 8 hours a week, trying to, put something out like that. So I totally get it, man.
And she brings it up too. She says, these people, I'm quoting her, she's saying, there's people who never go home and see their families. They have children who are growing up without seeing them. She's like, I didn't have my own kids. I chose my career in lots of ways, and I could be single-minded like that when I was making sacrifices. Did it affect my family? Yes, but it was primarily affecting me, and I could make that choice.
Right.
But when I look at other people, my health really declined, and I had to take care of myself because it was like bad. And so, so she's talking about the decline in health and, and the family aspect of it. But, but I guess, I don't, hearing this doesn't surprise me, but I just was kind of surprised that she was kind of, airing this out. And in particular, talking about her time at Naughty Dog too, because she did make reference to Uncharted 3, and saying, and talking about how hard it was, because they had a 2-year development cycle for that game.
Yeah.
And it was 2 years after 2 projects that they had just recently put out. So.
And then, when you read her statements, you got to think of, what all the people went through over at Konami. You know what I mean? Everybody talked about how that was like development hell, and, they didn't have an office to go to, and, they were working, these massive hours and things like that just to ensure that, Metal Gear Solid 5 was actually able to release. So, stuff like this does happen. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if you see more stories like this, come out in the future where, after they, leave a company or leave the business, similar stories come out.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. So, what do you, Sam? What are your thoughts, man?
Well, I think there's a couple of different factors to consider. For one, I don't think we've heard, and I don't think honestly we'll ever hear the full story of exactly what happened there, with the shift at Naughty Dog and Amy Hennig leaving, and all the other employees who were fired or relocated, and, the change. I think there's a lot there that sort of plays into what she's saying, that, about the crunch and all that. But it comes down to how much you invest yourself in a project. I mean, Rod Ferguson in a recent interview talked about that. And if I'm just going to read a direct quote from him, he said, the fact is, if you're passionate about what you do and you believe in what you're making and you want it to be the best it can be, you're going to work hard, and it's just a reality. It doesn't matter what size team you're on.
That's true.
And I agree with that. I mean, remember the documentary about the making of, what was that game? Fez.
Super Meat Boy? Or...
or Super Meat Boy. Either one.
The indie game documentary that had all 3 of them on there. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. It's just you can burn yourself out, and I know I had to learn to pace myself, because when I get really wrapped up in like a software project for school or just something I'm doing to make my life a bit easier, I'll spend nights without sleeping just staring at the code, trying to figure it out, and I had to stop that. I had to pace myself and figure things out, because you're invested in your work. and you want it to be the best it can be. And I know artists who are like that. I know, bakers who are like that. It's just, if you want your product to be high quality, you have to maintain a certain sense of realism about how you're working, regardless of the size team, or you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah. Well, and any time I think that you're in an industry where there's high risk, high reward, an industry where there's a lot of revenue, a lot of money coming in, you tend to see this, I think, too. I don't think it's just unique to gaming,
Most definitely. Definitely.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was very. I thought it was, and it came on the heels of what Rod was talking about too. So I thought the timing was interesting to hear her talk about this stuff. So it's someone in the live chat brought up a No Man's Sky, and poor No Man's Sky. It's now officially the worst rated game on Steam.
Oh, really? What rating does it have?
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna go
I read an article or I saw something the other day. Did you guys hear
it's got
about
its
this?
own rating. It's just called No Man's Sky.
Did you guys hear about this though on Steam? It's like the worst rated Steam game.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's terrible. I feel bad for Hello Games.
Yeah, their name is. Well, yeah, that's a complicated situation, right? I kind of feel bad for them, and I kind of don't. It's really weird. You have a lot that went on there, and I'm sure there's a lot there that we don't know about. What happened between them and Sony and what was promised. Yeah, but that's been talked to death, though. I really don't want to go back into that.
No, I hear you, man. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the podcast. We try to keep this at an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I want to give a big shout out, big thank you to Anchorman for joining us tonight, man. Always a pleasure to have you on, Anchor.
Anytime, just ask.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we gotta get some games, man. And I see you on Xbox Live all the time. I don't think we played much games together.
Man, I'm available. Just you want me to game?
Yeah, I know
It's open to a donation.
I know. I know we've been in a couple party chats, but we gotta get some gaming in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and quick shout out to JT from the Super Deforms Gamecast who just jumped in for a little bit. They go live again 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They'll be on tomorrow night. And big shout out to John and Eric who were on earlier. And B Money and Sam, as always, thank you, gentlemen, for taking time of your evening to shoot the shit, talk video games.
Absolutely, man. I'm just glad I was able to get in here, because it was looking like traffic was going to be stuck forever. So,
dude, when you sent me that picture, man, I was like, did he get pulled over? What's going on?
I don't know what on earth was happening. At first, it looked like it was just road work, but then when we got there, they weren't working on anything at all. I really don't know what the story is on that. Yeah, we just glad I got here.
I live outside DC. We get that shit a lot, man. They just put up like they have trucks just parked out on the highway doing nothing, and lane shut down. It's ridiculous. But anyhow, well, we're gonna head and call it a night. You know what, guys? We gotta get some horde mode in. We gotta try to do that.
Absolutely.
Anytime, man.
No, B Money. I gotta get you off 2K, man. That's the challenge, I think.
Yeah, 2K is life right now, man.
Yeah, that's the challenge. So, big shout out to everyone in the live chat who joined us tonight. Great conversation as usual. Always love our live chat. And remember, if you haven't, if you haven't subscribed to us yet, give us a sub, give us a thumbs up too, and we'll catch you guys next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So. Other than that, remember, gamers to game on, but more importantly, have fun doing so because that's what gaming is all about. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.